Camera zooms into a grand hotel lobby. Expensive suits, glittering gowns, laughter, and the sound of glasses clinking. Suddenly, the heavy doors open. A small girl, barefoot, in ragged clothes, steps inside clutching a cardboard sign. People stop and stare. The sign says, "Can I play for food?" A murmur of laughter ripples through the crowd. Security moves in. Guests whisper cruelly. But the girl walks up to the shining grand piano in the center of the room. Her hands shake as she sits. Someone mutters, "This will be embarrassing." Then, she presses the first key. The laughter dies instantly. The room falls silent. Lena had been standing in the freezing wind for hours that day. Her coat was thin, its zipper broken, and her shoes were worn so badly that every step let water in. She clutched her stomach, empty for 2 days. A group of boys walked past, pointing. "Hey, look! Beggar girl. Yeah, maybe she'll sing for us, huh?" Lena lowered her head. She wasn't asking for pity. Her sign didn't say, "Help me." It said, "Can I play for food?" She didn't want charity. She wanted a chance. At night, on the cold sidewalk, Lena would close her eyes and remember home. The smell of her mother's cooking. The sound of laughter in their tiny kitchen. And above all, the old upright piano in their living room. One evening, years before, her mother had come home from her waitress shift. Exhausted but smiling, she placed her tips on the counter and found Lena at the piano, creating her own melody. "Lena," her mom whispered, tears in her eyes, "where did you learn that?" "I just felt it, Mama." Her mother hugged her tightly. "You don't just play music, you are music." But as life grew harder, everything changed. Her mother fell sick. Bills came faster than tips. The piano was sold. Then her mother was gone. Lena had nothing left. Except the music she carried in her heart. That night, as snowflakes fell, Lena's eyes locked on the golden lights of a grand hotel. Through the glass doors she saw it, a magnificent grand piano. Her breath caught. She whispered to herself, "If I could just play, maybe someone will hear me." With courage she didn't know she had, Lena crossed the street. The warmth of the lobby hit her, but so did the stairs. "Security," a woman snapped. "What is she doing here?" a man muttered. The guard marched over. "You can't be here. Guests only." Lena's hands shook as she held up her sign. "Please, just one song. I'll play for food. I promise I won't cause trouble." The guests chuckled. "Oh, this is going to be good. Let her. We could use some comedy." The guard sighed, shaking his head. "1 minute. Then you leave." Lena sat at the piano. For a moment, she froze. Her fingers hovered over the keys. Her stomach twisted with fear. Then she remembered her mother's words, "Don't ever let go of the piano in your heart." She pressed the first note. It rang clear. Strong. Then another. And another. The melody grew, gentle at first, then powerful. A storm of emotion poured from her fingers. She played her mother's lullabies. She played the sorrow of hunger, the ache of loneliness. She played the hope that somewhere, somehow, things could get better. The room fell silent. Waiters froze mid-step. Conversations stopped. The same people who laughed minutes ago now stood wide-eyed, their hearts trembling. When Lena finished, the last note hung in the air like a prayer. Then, Applause. Thunderous applause. People leapt to their feet, clapping, cheering, some with tears running down their cheeks. Through the crowd stepped Mr. Carter, a famous pianist and professor, silver-haired and dignified. He knelt beside Lena. "Child, where did you learn to play like that?" Lena's eyes filled with tears. "At home. Before I lost it. I just wanted food." The professor's voice broke. "You don't belong on the streets. You belong on the stage." He turned to the guests. "Do you hear her? This girl is a genius. A once-in-a-lifetime talent. And you laughed at her." Shame fell over the crowd. Guests who mocked her earlier now lowered their heads. Mr. Carter held out his hand. "Come with me, Lena. You don't have to be alone anymore." Life didn't change overnight. Even with Mr. Carter's help, Lena faced challenges. She had to learn discipline, scales, theory. She had to battle the memories of hunger, the fear of being unwanted. At times she cried, "I can't do this. I don't belong here." But Mr. Carter reminded her, genius is not about perfection. It's about honesty. And Lena, when you play, the world listens. She practiced day and night, pouring her pain into music. Slowly, the broken girl from the streets began to bloom into an artist. Months later, Lena stood backstage at a concert hall, shaking. Thousands waited in the audience. She whispered, "I can't." Mr. Carter put a hand on her shoulder. "Remember the lobby? Remember how they laughed? Then remember how they listened. Tonight, the world will listen." Lena stepped on stage. The lights were blinding. The audience hushed. She sat at the grand piano and began to play. The hall filled with music so powerful, so raw, that people wept openly. When she finished, the applause shook the walls. The girl who once played for food was now playing for the world. Years later, Lena returned to that same hotel. This time, the lobby was packed not with doubters, but with fans waiting to hear her again. She stood at the microphone and said softly, "Once, I came here hungry. I held a sign that said, 'Can I play for food?' You laughed. But music saved me. And now, I play for every child who feels unseen, unheard, forgotten. Because inside them may be a gift the world needs." She began to play. The crowd listened in silence. Some cried. Some smiled. But no one laughed. This is more than a story about music. It's about humanity. Sparkles never judge someone by their appearance. Sparkles never laugh at someone's pain. Sparkles because hidden behind worn clothes and tired eyes may be a gift, a miracle, a light the world cannot afford to lose. All Lena needed was one chance. And when she got it, she didn't just play for food, she played for hope.